Somebody asked me a question and they said, Apostle, what is the number one mistake or common mistake that chosen people or anointed people make? And it was not easy for me to answer this person because my calling, my assignment is not to reveal mistakes or expose mistakes. My calling is to reveal you to you. My calling is to reveal what God has put in you. But years ago, God revealed this, and as a result, I realized that most people, this is where they fail, especially when it comes to the anointed and the chosen, is when the anointed or the chosen starts feeling like they are too anointed or too chosen that God cannot replace them. Let me put it in a way that you'll understand. You are never too anointed for God not to replace you. You are never too chosen for God not to replace you. If you don't believe me, ask Saul. Saul was a king for 40 years, but God rejected him after 2 years of his kingship, meaning he was a king for 38 years outside God's presence. There was no need for God to raise David, the son of Jesse, if Saul followed and obeyed what God said to him. So disobedience caused God to replace him. One must come to realize that the same God who anointed you can easily anoint somebody. The same God who chose you can easily choose somebody. If God is the one who gave you the gift, then the giver of the gift can give another person the same gift. It's important for you to humble yourself. It's important for you to be obedient to the one that has given you what you have, the one who has anointed you, the one that has called you, the one that has chosen you. You need to be more faithful to him than people and what people promise. And of course, the second one, I know one, the person asked about one or the most common, but there are two. The second one is refusing to have a mentor. If you are not leadable, you are not ready to lead anybody. Every true leader, or rather any great leader, so to say, was once a follower or is still a good follower. If you are not teachable, you can't teach anybody. If you are not leadable, you can't lead anybody. You must get a mentor. You must get somebody who will help you navigate your way, because there are those that have went ahead of you. Submission is not weakness, but strength under control. Submission is not stupidity, but a womb of maturity. A lot of people fail to submit because they don't understand the power that comes with submission. If I have a spaza shop or a small supermarket, I don't need an accountant. I can handle the finances myself, because after all, my business is not that big. But if I now have a mall, I will need an accountant. Sometimes lack of submission or refusing to submit exposes what a person really carries. Because the greater the gift, the greater the anointing, the greater the calling, the more one will look for a mentor. Because it is big that you can't handle it yourself. Then you need somebody who has experience or who has walked the walk, or who God has assigned in that season to help you navigate your way into what God has called you to be. You look at the Bible, you see that even great men, one way or the other, they were led or they were leadable. They had a mentor. Paul himself was led. A man called Ananias prayed for him. Jesus passed by John. And some of you, your greatness will be dormant, in a sense of it will never be unlocked as long as you are refusing to meet your John. As long as you are refusing for John to baptize you because you feel like you are greater than John.